Hi YouTubers, this is a 2002 Toyota Tacoma with the engine light on. I was driving and one of the sudden the truck starts shaking. I decided to take it to one of those auto parts that give free diagnostic test whenever someone has a car that has the engine light on. The test was done and a code was found. The code was P0302 Cylinder 2 Misfire detected. Whenever someone has code P0302, it might be a faulty spark plug wire, a faulty spark plug, or a faulty ignition coil. In my case, I know for sure it is not the spark plug wire nor the spark plugs because I changed them about 2 months ago. Now I'm gonna go to the engine and remove the ignition coil and replace it with a new one. This is a 4-cylinder 2002 Toyota Tacoma. The cylinder count starts from the front of the car to the firewall. The first ignition coil is cylinder 1. This is cylinder 1. And the second ignition coil is cylinder 2. To be able to remove ignition coil 2, I'm gonna have to remove the top of the air filter housing. I'm gonna have to remove the top of the air filter housing and the hose. I'm gonna have to move them out of the way, so disconnect them right here, pull them out so I can have access to the ignition coil 2. And before I'll be able to remove it, I have to remove 2 bolts right here, right on top of the magnifier. They are like 2 bolts, 12mm socket to remove those 2 bolts. And then ignition coil, you're gonna need a 10mm socket to remove the ignition, to remove the bolt. And then once you remove the bolt that hold the ignition coil in place, you're gonna have to uh, disconnect the connector. To disconnect the connector, you're gonna have to squeeze on the little plastic here. You're gonna have to squeeze, hold it down, and pull it gently. Squeeze, hold it down, and pull it gently. Once you do that, you're gonna be able to just remove the ignition coil. So once I remove the ignition coil, this is the ignition coil I'm gonna replace. And look what just happened. The rubber gasket stuck to the spark plug. It should have come out, but it didn't come out. It is stuck to the spark plug. Now I'm gonna have to remove it. So it happens. It happens at any time for any reason. It's gonna stuck. It might, so you're gonna have to remove it. So this is the new one, and this is the new one, and this is the one I just removed. And as you can see, the ignition, the rubber gasket stuck to the spark plug didn't come out. So now it is stuck to the spark plug. So now I'm gonna, because it was nighttime, and there is a tool, a pliers, long big pliers you can use to remove it, but I didn't have it, so it was nighttime. So I created my own tool. What I did, I took a hanger and I flattened the edge of it. I flattened it, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna heat it up. I'm gonna use my heat gun to heat it up. So um, I'm gonna turn on the heat gun. I'm gonna turn it on, and put it on high. Once I put it on high, I'm gonna take the flat end head of the piece of the hanger and stick it into the heat gun so to heat it up. So I'm gonna leave it there to once I uh, feel that it is hot enough, I'm gonna take it and stick it into the rubber gasket until I feel that it reaches the spark plug. And I'm gonna leave it there. Stick it into it to reach the spark plug and leave it there to cool down. Once it cool down, you know, once it's cooled down, I'm gonna just pull it out. Once uh once I pull it out and the rubber gasket came out with it, it is stuck to it. Installation of the new ignition coil was the reversal of the removal. Once I install it, I make sure I connect the connector, screw the ignition coil, put the bolt back in, and put the hose, put the clamps back, put the air filter back, make sure everything goes where it's supposed to go, tighten all the bolts, and make sure everything sits well. That's all. Thank you for watching.